Andrew's channel that
Oh, yeah.
HR All right, let's unmute.
All right, we're unmuted. Oh gosh, feedback. Everyone turn your sound down.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Can you give me something in the chat as to whether you can hear me?
Make sure you turn yours off, okay?
Yeah, I'm changing my sound settings. Hey, at least I know that. Oh, shoot. Man, I should attend how to do Zoom meetings. Shouldn't I?
You can.
Just mute your computer.
Yeah.
I did that, but Zoom is weird. And even when I mute the sound on my computer,
Audio settings in Zoom.
yeah, I have to go to the audio settings. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second in order to do that. Actually, no.
You can just go. Yeah. Like a.
Never mind.
All just. Yep. Be logo.
Perfect. Okay. And now we know that they can hear me. So
You need to turn your mic down too.
do I?
So it doesn't hear.
Well, it's this one is muted anyway. But
Yeah, it's not reverbing.
yeah, that one's muted. I'm just gonna keep that. Are you getting reverb?
I can hear something here. Yeah.
Yikes. All right, I'll turn it. It's really hard controlling it on that screen. Also, it's not moving.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys. I'm about to give a tech support demo. This is fine. Okay.
You can change the screen setting so it's duplicated on your laptop.
Yeah, but I'm doing other stuff on my laptop. I'm setting things up. Okay. So let's see who we have. Sorry, guys. We'll just be another couple minutes. Let everyone join in.
Slack screen doesn't have this audio on though.
That's okay.
But I thought you turned yours off, so that means.
No, mine is Slack screen.
Oh.
His is cam. We made it weird.
Okay.
Because right.
Okay.
Is there any way that I can get chats in Zoom while I'm sharing
Top
my
right.
screen?
Top right. More. Thank you.
Is it
Chat. You can pull that over onto your screen.
Yeah.
Try that. Or
Me too. I already did that. And I'll get a participant number going to just so that. There we go. Andrew, you want to make yourself known?
Ah, yes.
You're still on this screen.
Oh, yes, I'll
we
be
framed it so it started
Now
right
you're
here.
framed.
We started right there.
right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, it's like staying here. Oh, yeah, perfect. Oh, very nice. Yeah.
All right. So we'll get started for everyone who's in the group, and also we're going to be recording this for posterity's sake. So hello, my name is Cameron Mize. I am a resident old dude on 4 Hive. I've been living in the HRC since my freshman year, and the Slack channel has been something that Ranger and I and some of the older people in the HRC have been developing for the past couple of years to help with communication. And at this point in time, I think that's a pretty good thing to have right now, distant communication. So basically, this presentation, we're going to go over what Slack is, how you use it, how to get familiarized with it, and kind of how to make the most of it. So to start off, what is Slack? Slack is basically a program used by a lot of companies and businesses in order to effectively communicate, especially between people in a company that aren't located together, might not have the same exact work times. For that reason, it's made to be able to subdivide itself really well into different groups, which when we're using it for a community standpoint, we can make sub-communities based on interests, co-location, stuff like that. It really helps cater what you're seeing to what you want to see and how you want to interact with the community. So I think it gives a little bit more freedom of communication. So the reason why we use Slack is because some of you older folks will probably remember the past years where we just had the listserv. And the listserv is great. It's a really good way to get emails out to people, notifying them of events, getting things started, going together. Like, that's really good. But it used to be used for all sorts of things. And I'll actually share my screen real quick. I'll share a different page, and I'll show you one of the problems of the listserv. So if I go to my screen real quick, let's share here. Okay, so that screen sharing? Yeah.
You have to drag it over, press Control Shift, Windows Shift, left or right.
Is it showing?
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
Okay, sweet, yeah. So as you can see now, I guess, a lot of emails here coming from the listserv. This was over the past year and a half. I've got over 1,000. Google doesn't even bother telling me how many emails there are. It just says many, and as you can see, many of them are unread because they're questions for laundry and stuff that I don't have, and stuff that I've already heard about. And the effect that this had was when there was a lot of bloat on the listserv, people started tuning it out, as you can see. And some people unsubscribe from the listserv entirely, and that is not cool. It makes it so that the community is not as involved, it's not as informed. So essentially, what we wanted to do when we started the Slack was make sure that people can communicate in the ways that they want to communicate, and they can tune certain things out without tuning everything out. So that's why the modularity of the Slack is so important. So I'll go back to sharing my Slack screen. Let's see. There we go. So to start off, how do you join Slack? So basically, we have an email link that you can click on. You also should have gotten an email in the listserv, actually, giving that link to you. All you have to do is click on the link in order to join in. At that point, you'll be asked to set up an account, which you can do to your heart's content. If that doesn't work out, you can always go to the Slack page, the actual page online, and you can try it for free when you get started. So I'm already signed into this one, but if you want to sign in, you see you can work with your email, or you can create an account. You don't want to create your own workspace. No competition with us. So once you join in, let me see if I can log out on here to show you the sign-in process. No? Is it not sharing?
Don't show the link to our Slack on YouTube.
Okay, fine, cool. Never mind then. So seeing as we're censoring ourselves for the greater community, follow that email. It's very intuitive. If you have any questions, email me. So moving on from that, you can also download the Slack app. So if you go back to the Slack homepage, you go to resources, download, you download it on your computer. It takes you directly to a Windows download. That's probably just because I'm on a Windows machine. You can also download it for Mac. I would also recommend, if you're using multiple devices, downloading it on Android or iOS. I have it on my iPad, my phone, and my laptop because I'm crazy. But having multiple devices is good because I actually usually check my notifications on my phone. And I only pull it up on my laptop when, I'm slacking off of work, but I'm writing a long message to someone. So I would definitely encourage you to get multiple apps for your different devices to use Slack. It's also incredibly easy. Just download it on the App Store or the Google Play Store, and then follow the instructions that it gives you. Moving on to how Slack basically works, I'll share my Slack screen one more time. So, let's see. There we go. Okay, so looking at Slack, so you'll get into Slack, right? And you'll see something akin to this. There'll probably be different colors, and I'll go over that in a minute. First thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up your profile. So if we go up here into the corner, we can see this is kind of my drag down menu. Andrew, if you want to kind of give them the old, he's going to be my Vanna for the rest of this presentation. So what I care about is you can view your profile, right? But actually, we'll just go to that. You can also edit your profile from there. So this sidebar opens up. And as you can see, that's my name. That's my picture. You can set a title, but seeing as we don't have titles here in the HRC, I just like to set whatever I want. You can also say what you're doing, right? So I'm not currently just chilling in the dorm right now. I am giving a presentation. So I can clear that out. Say I'm at a community event. I do want it to clear because I probably won't be doing this in an hour. So I'll say after 30 minutes, clear that out, and then save it. Thank you, Andrew. No problem. You can also edit other things about your profile, right? So that's my whole name. I only want people to see Cameron, right? You can add these things if you want to add your phone, if you want to add your Skype, you can do that. Let's see. You can also edit your picture, right? So what I want to do is, sorry, kind of difficult to see across this. So if you go into edit profile, there we go. So say I want to change, right? That's not a great picture of me. It's a young Cam from the before times. He's not wearing a mask. So I could upload this new picture of Cam looking stylish in his mask that I definitely didn't take a couple minutes ago. Resize it here, and then save it. And now I'm updated for the COVID era as soon as it saves. There we go. So that's me now. And I can once we no longer require masks, I can go ahead and change that to my nice unmasked picture. So, and yep, thank you, save the changes. We don't want to give up that perfect look. So that's how you set your picture, your title, and your status in Slack. Now let's look at notifications. I think that's the #1 thing that I've gotten questions and concerns for is either how do I get notified about things that I care about because I'm not getting notified at the moment, or how do I turn off notifications for the things that I don't care about? So Slack actually has a really cool notifications screen. So if you go to preferences on your profile, it's the first one. It's the easiest one to get to, and you've got all of these options. So to start off with, you can say, hey, I want all of the messages from the channels that I'm in. I want to be notified for all of them. You can say, I only care if someone specifically mentions me, directly messages me, or sends a keyword that I've set up. You can set up keywords down here, right? So you can see that I've got food put in here. So if anyone says that they're offering food, I know about it. And you can also use different settings for your mobile devices, right? So I just want all the notifications to come to me because I like socializing. If you only want certain things on your phone, you can change it. Another thing that's great, you can make a schedule for your notifications. So I've decided after 10 p.m. each night, I only want to message people on Slack. So I set that. It means that I'll be shown with notifications turned off for the times that I don't care about it. Now, for the sound and appearance, there can be things that mess with your notifications, right? So I've got Windows Action Center set up, and it disables notifications for Slack at certain times. If you need to, you can always just go to the Windows Center, and you can turn that off. There's a setting to allow notifications through. You probably won't have that problem if you haven't set it up, but just so you know, this was a nice thing that as soon as it saw that I had set up that setting, it replaced the sound and appearance box, the general box, with something showing that my notifications were being blocked. So that's actually a pretty useful thing to have, that notification. Another neat thing, themes. So if you want Slack to look different, I really like this kind of maroon and gold aesthetic to everything. If you go to the themes, you've got all sorts of different colors, right? So you've got the basic colors, but then you've also got some cool options. So I actually don't know how to pronounce the one. It's like discontifiq. I don't know how to, someone tell me how to pronounce that eventually. But I know, but it looks nice. So that's what I've set. And actually, you can set it specific to your workspace, right? So for Dr. T's lab, I have different colors too. So it's a nice little switch, and that brings me to a good point here where you can have multiple workspaces. If your lab or where you're doing undergraduate research or where you're working has a Slack, you can have them separate. It's just like Discord, basically. And you'll see a lot of things with Slack are similar to Discord, but whereas I think Discord is really key towards that video chatting feature, Slack, I think, excels when it comes to actual text chat. So moving on, now that you kind of know how to customize your profile, set it up, and make it your own, let's take a look at channels and how you actually get to communicate with people. So you see the channels on this left bar here. I am part of a bunch of channels because I'm an admin. But really, the nice thing about this bar is that there don't have to be this many for you. If you want to go ahead and add channels, right, you're going to click this plus. There are certain channels that everyone is automatically added to, right? So you should be automatically added to our default commodity chat, which is everyone together. The senior fellows chat and I believe the random chat and requests. Requests is a nice chat because all those listserv emails I showed you, you can just send stuff in here and people will I think usually help you out. It reduces the number of emails. You can also opt out if you want, right? That choice is yours. If you don't want to get notifications from people asking to request things, well, then we ask that you not put things in the requests channel. So you get that choice as to whether or not you want to participate in kind of that shared community kind of benefit. So if you want to add a new channel, say, right, you go up here and you just click this plus next to the channels. You can browse existing channels, or if you end up finding out that there is no channel dedicated to what you care about, specifically, you can create your own. So if we browse channels, right, we can see the ones that I'm already a part of, and then, College of Business, College of Agriculture and Science, right? So there's some ones that have been created since I created some of the other college ones, and you can specifically talk to people within your college from that. That might be helpful to get in-major or in-department help. You can see here there's a complaining about ChemLab channel that Andrew signed up. He created this. Currently, it's only him and Ranger, so I guess it's just a little personal blog of his. Andrew, do you want to explain yourself?
I do not like Chem Lab. It's the worst class ever that you're ever going to take in your whole college experience, and you should join the Slack. Oh, you should join the Slack channel to complain about Chem Lab, not with me, because I took it and I survived. But you can join and all complain together.
Perfect. So if I went ahead and joined this channel, now I can communicate along with Andrew, although I prefer to leave my memories of ChemLab behind me. So if we look to another example, this was an old channel for the entire 4th floor to kind of come together and talk about things. So if you look, some of the things that you can post in channels, you can give reminders to people to pick things up, tell people about events, although, for big events, we'd ask that you also, talk to someone about getting that out in the listserv. You can send links to people, and you'll see Slack automatically puts these really nice previews in for a lot of links. So Rachel wanted to have a Netflix party, and she sent this link, and it gave kind of a nice preview. You can also send Zoom meeting links in there, or just have normal talks. There are also memes. So according to BuzzFeed, Ranger is a girl in her late teens. So you do you, Ranger. And you can share that with people in Slack. So moving on, now that you know how to kind of join the channel, right? If you want to add some comment, you've got this bar down here. You've got all sorts of ways to edit your text. You can also hide that if you don't care about it. Specifically, you can mention someone. So it gives you this nice list. I'll mention Andrew, right? And you can add reactions. There are a bunch of preset ones, and there are also the options to make custom ones that I'll show you in a couple minutes. So all you gotta do, I mean, it's just like any other chat app, right? You just type whatever you care, and then Andrew is going to get that notification of DK. Sorry, I just typed whatever I cared about it. So that's basically it for commenting in channels, right? You can also start threads, right? So you can react to people's specific comments that they make, or I guess react to your own comment if you want. Thanks, Andrew. I see he notified me, so I would get that message.
Yes to know.
I have to know.
Yeah, it's very important stuff.
So I'll react to that. Nice little thumbs up. I can also share it with someone if I care about doing that. I can save the message forever, and that goes into my shared folders, my saved items. I, however, don't care about that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh.
And I can reply in the thread, right? So I can come in here, it opens up a new thread. This keeps the main channel chat from getting too clogged. You make these threads, I put something in there, and there we go. And now you see that there's one reply. So that's basically how to start all the comments that you need to know about in these chats, and how to reply to them, how to react to them. So now we'll go to the other communication method, right? So once you're in all these channels, right, you can communicate with a bunch of people, but one thing that I found pretty useful is communicating with specific people directly. So you can see whether they're online or not. Just because Andrew is away right now doesn't mean that he won't get the notification. But if I really care about it, I can either type it specifically in, or I can just go to that drop down. I can hit his name and mention him directly, and then I can send him a message. And Andrew, when it's not being recorded and broadcast onto YouTube, is the only one that normally can see this kind of stuff. So yeah, so you can have these nice little communiques with each other. You can also share links in direct messages. So if I wanted him to join the chat, he can join the chat. See, this is actually a nice thing, right? Slackbot is one of the bots that we have integrated within the HRC. It comes in and it gives you nice suggestions if you're having trouble. So it looks like a Zoom link. Would you like to install the Zoom app from the directory? So I can actually integrate Zoom into Slack. I might look into doing that. A lot of interesting stuff that Slackbot gives you. All right, so let's look at, if you want to link something, by the way, you can also link things down here. So you can create URLs to send things to people. Let's talk about making an emoji, right? So let's say that I want to react to something that Andrew said specifically. You can go down here to add emoji. You make a custom emoji, and then you can upload an image. So my sister sent me a picture yesterday that I thought was great. It says at the bottom, "'Cause you rock." So I'm going to put that there. She's looking swag. And I'm going to say, "You rock" is the name of this emoji. It's already in use. Oh wait, I actually already made another emoji when I was testing. So I'm going to say "You rock" too. Actually, I just won't make it. I'll just show you the emoji I already made. So I can either just send that randomly to Andrew, or I can use it as a response. So how about let's take a look at both. So you go over here. This is where the custom ones are. You can see a lot of ones that Ranger has made, a lot of memes. And then here's the one that I made before. So I can just send that to Andrew. He can get it. Andrew can respond to me. Better come up with something funny. Everyone's going to see it. Oh, now I'm uncomfortable. And then I can react to that however I want. That looks about right. So again, pretty much everything that you need to know about direct messaging with people. So now you know how to get on Slack, how to create and customize your profile, how to find and interact in chats and channels, how to specifically interact with certain people. The only other thing to talk about is apps. So we have several app integrations in Slack. If you go down here, one of the ones that I really want to highlight is Polly. So Polly is this little bird. I guess it's actually supposed to be Polly. I just made that connection. I've always called it Polly because it polls. So Polly is this helpful app, right? And basically, it helps you create polls with people. So usually, when we want to get like a volleyball group going, we put a poll up for who's available / when are they available. I know it was only it was in the before times. Right now it's a little bit harder. I know my heart rate's up. But so let's make a poll real quick. So for old time's sake, let's go to Rebound Volleyball, which is our volleyball chat, right? And so if I want to make a poll, I can directly message Polly to ask. But if I don't want to do that, I can mention them here. When I mention them, Polly's going to come up in a second, say it's a little shy in public, but it just sent you a direct message. So I'll go into my direct messages, and it gives me a real nice how-to on how to make it. Now I can use text commands. I don't feel like doing that. I just want to make a poll. It gives me these nice shortcuts. It gives me questions, how I want to, have people answer the questions, how many choices I want them to have. It's pretty intuitive. So if you ever need to make a poll, just use Polly. If you care about other apps, let me go into the other apps screen. So far apps that we have, right? So I just click that plus sign to browse the current apps. We have Polly, Giphy, Agorapolls, Dog Facts, if you care about getting constant dog facts. General things. We've experimented in the past with having AI chatbots in the Slack. I might bring that back at some point, but one of them, I'm not kidding, broke loose from his home channel and started replying to things that people were saying outside of the channel on his own. I had to kill it, guys. I had to kill the AI. So we're going to proceed with caution on that one. But if you're interested in machine learning, let me know, and I might give you control over the AI. So if you ever care about adding new apps, you have some functionality that you think our Slack should have, just let us know and send an admin, myself, Ranger, Dr. T, a message, and we can set that up for you, as long as it's appropriate and fun enough. So with that, that's pretty much all you need to know, guys. That's a lot of the meat of interacting with people on Slack. I would really encourage you to use the Slack to connect with people that you know and that you might not know in the HRC. I think one of the benefits of Slack is that everyone has their own hall group chats, but Slack lets you interact with people outside your halls. There's a greater HRC community, and right now we don't get to see that quite as easily. And so at this time specifically, especially, I think it would be a good idea to try the Slack out and to interact with people. You'll make some new friends, and you'll get to know your community a little bit better, and you'll be able to participate in your community a little bit easier. So I would really recommend downloading this, going through the steps that we've laid out here, and get to Slacking. So before we break, good. Thanks, Andrew. Before we break, are there any questions that people have regarding specific things that you can do in Slack, or I guess about me, about my personal life, really whatever questions you care about, I'm here to answer them for the next several minutes. Let's see, can I pull up my chat?
Should be on the other screen already.
Is it okay? Cool, thank you.
You can stop sharing this one.
That's a good idea. I appreciate that you're here, Sarah. Making this go a lot smoother. Ranger sent me a private Zoom message saying that my jokes are slacking. I'm not doing a for that. It doesn't deserve it.
should talk about action.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you, Sahil. All right. So one other thing that you can do, right? If you just want everyone to know, let me share my screen again real quick. So one thing that you can do if you want everyone to know that you are doing something sometime later, or you've got some announcement that you want people to get, right? You can hit add channel. So if I go down to specifically, like, let's say the Terrazaga happens, right? This is a channel specifically dedicated to the Terrazaga family. In the before times when they were doing stuff outside and people could join, they would let people know. If I wanted to, everyone who cares about this, if I wanted them all to know something, like they're, let's see. So I just type in @channel, notifies everyone, and I could say like Dr. T spotted on drill field. I can send that out. Everyone will know where Dr. T is. So that is, I haven't actually spotted him on the drill field, so I'm not going to give misinformation in my own Slack. But now you know how to do it. So.
It'll also warn you.
Oh yeah, it will also, yeah, okay, so, yeah, there we go. So I'm about to tell 122 people Dr. Terzaga's exact location, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm too much of a coward. So that's how you do add channel. Thank you, Sahil. That was a really good, useful thing. I guess while we're waiting for any questions, I can go over some nice channels we've got set up. There's a senior fellows channel. So this is a way that some senior fellows can specifically talk to people in the HRC. You can interact with some of our wonderful senior fellows. Show them a little bit more of our community. It's nice. I love having the senior fellows here. That's one of the really big benefits of being in the HRC is the interaction you get to have with some really cool professors and prominent people. It's pretty awesome. Sock exchange. For people who have lost socks in the laundry, very useful. Zumba, this is currently on hold, but for Max's online exercise classes, I would highly recommend. He is a great trainer. Random, for people who are just, wanting to talk about things, but they don't want to put it in the commodity chat because they think it's a little miscellaneous. There's a nice reading chat.
Free food is good.
Oh, free food is a good
Highly
one, yeah.
recommend. It's a
So,
little bit further up there.
there we go. Free food's great. And there's Ranger's iffy on the free food. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. Free food's a little bit harder to do because of COVID, yes. But in general, free food is great. I thought my mask was off or something. You're giving me the
The second most popular channel.
Is it now? Yeah.
After commodity.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty great. So those are some cool channels. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the new channels people have made recently. Matt, are there any questions?
Questions to Vince, the best channel? Ranger?
we had a senior last year named Vince. He was great, and we had a channel specifically. Actually, I don't think I would subscribe to that channel right now. Let's check it out. Let's see. Oh yeah, that is a good place to. Well, I haven't used it before. You could just type it in search, but I did it the hard way, right? To annoy, yeah. So if you looked, if you click here on the channel, you can see what it's all about. It's to annoy Vince and ask for industry standard advice and queries. So this is actually where we had Vince bot. I don't know if he's still here, if he's been purged from the record. No, that's Slack bot. But this is where Vince bot lived initially. And I guess he was set up to automatically talk from Vince's perspective. But we had to kill him, like I said. Vince bot is dead. All right, Matt, no questions? Awesome. Okay, well, if you do end up having questions, you just let one of us know. Again, my name is Cam. If you're in the community, I hope that you know me. And if you don't, say hi.
So you could reach out to HRC leadership or council.
You could also reach out to the wonderful council that we have this year.
RA should know, Ranger should know.
Yep, they should all know how to use Slack, shouldn't they? So, specifically reach out to anyone in HRC leadership. Bug Dr. T if you want. I always love when people bug Dr. T. And get any information that you need. So, Thank you for, I guess, attending or watching this video later on YouTube. And I hope that you enjoy Slack.